Hello painters, in this video I'm going to teach you how to care for your brushes and how to clean them up. Your brushes are probably, as a painter, one of the most expensive investments. So you want to take good care of your brushes so they last you a long time and you don't have to replace them. The brush I gave you is a pretty high quality brush. Usually watercolor brushes cost more than almost any other brush. You know, around $8 to $10 a piece for a good quality brush. When you're out shopping, one thing you can do to test and see if you got a good brush or not is what I call the spring test, and that is when you get the brush wet and you go to apply, touch it to the surface that you're painting, it'll either spring back immediately or, like this one, not so much. You can see the difference between a brush like this one where it just pops right back to its shape. So if the brush snaps back right away, you've got a better quality brush. You can even do this when the brush is dry and get a good sense of how quickly it goes back to shape. We need you to take really good care of your brushes, so I'm going to give you a few pointers, things to do and things to avoid. Please don't leave your brush float around in water like this while you're painting. Don't step away and leave your brush sort of drowning. What happens is the wood starts to absorb the water, the paint will crack, and pretty soon the metal part, which is called the ferrule, will start to become loose and fall off, and your brush eventually will just kind of start to fall apart. So never leave your brushes like that. You can rest them on top or just rest them off to the side on the table. You never want to leave them bobbing around in water, okay? So try that spring test. It's a good one, okay? Rinse out your jar. Cleanup is such, you're just going to use some bar soap. So this is just stuff same stuff you use to bathe with, wash your hands with. If you've got any bar soap around the house, that's great. If you don't, you could always use some dish soap. Whatever you've got under the kitchen counter will probably do as well. All you're going to do is get that water going, a little warm water. Sort of brush the brush in the soap, massage it into the bristles, and rinse it away. You don't want too hot of water, otherwise you'll damage your brush. Just warm water is going to be fine. When you go to store your brush, never store it like this, okay? In fact, you can even see that my brush, if I left it like this overnight, would end up having a little bend in it. So always store your brushes tips up, okay? Not cool to store them tips down. All right, so all brushes then end up like this or laying on their sides. Be careful with them. Your palette. Now with watercolor and with instant coffee, sometimes you can revive it by adding a little bit more warm water to it. With the coffee, not so much. I think after your painting session's done, after you've completed your painting, I would get fresh. I would fill it up with some water, leave it at the bottom of the sink. Soaking won't take long. Maybe after 10 minutes you can go in and kind of clean out your whole palette, let it dry, and we'll be ready for the next session. That's it, painters. Take good care of your brushes. Try to clean them after every session. Remember, this is a rental. You're borrowing this brush and it needs to come back in good condition. All right, happy painting.